This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
I think so far in the first two practices, the first thing I'll say is our guys are in really, really good shape. I think that's a credit to Dom, our strength staff. We move better than we did in the spring, just overall looking at our DBs and, credit to our guys and how they've worked this summer. So that's the first thing that's been really pleasing is just watching us move and break on balls and the little things like that, but we definitely move a lot better than we did in the spring. So credit to those guys. And I think just our overall understanding of where we're at putting a new system in. When we got here in the spring, it was, right from recruiting, with a week and a half maybe before spring ball. So just overall understanding of the defense with those guys that are coming back has been a pleasant surprise. I think we've handled the tempo because we practice really, really fast here, obviously, as everybody knows, and I think we've handled that a lot better. But still, just got to continue to push through it on a daily basis.
The defense the past 2 years has ranked near the bottom statistically in several major categories. Has that been a focal point for these guys to improve and not be a weak link on this team?
Yeah, we don't talk as much about that as much as we talk about just focusing on the process every single day. And we've had some guys really start to emerge as leaders that I'm really proud of in each unit. And I think it's obviously you have an end goal that coaches laid out in front of our guys that we're working towards, but. I think it's a daily process to improve and compete against ourselves. And like anything, once you have competition, iron sharpens iron. Our theme, tougher together. It was hard in the spring to be tougher together if you don't have a true too deep a competition. I mean, I think that's just human nature. You have to have guys pushing the guy behind you. We have that now. Even though some of those guys are freshmen, some of those guys are young. We have guys that have really come in, whether it be junior college transfers or freshmen that are competing and pushing. And so, we have 13 to 14 guys that are either freshmen, junior college players, or have moved positions from the spring that are really getting their first reps right now on defense, within our 2 to 3 deep. But that's exciting though too, and it's exciting to see just the maturation process from one day to the next.
You mentioned players moving positions. 2 of them moved from corner to safety, Malik Matthews, Hunter Getz. What was the process of thinking of moving those guys to safety, especially a guy like Malik who's been among the top 4 corners here for the last 3 years?
Well, just overall, we're just trying to get the best 11 guys, best 22 guys ready to play. And so just evaluating our personnel, throughout the spring, and a guy like Hunter who, really was a safety the majority of his career. And Hunter's a great story. So you talk about, use him as an example of guys that, have really bought into this program. Hunter gained 22 or 23 pounds, from the course of when Dom started working with him to right now, which is a pretty big jump. I mean, he's like 165 pounds, in the spring. So to consider him as a safety at that point was kind of, we would have loved to, but he worked his tail off and, has had a great off season. And so, he's a guy that's put himself in position to make a move to help this team.
You look at Katro Clark and Tank Lane. I know they're only 2 practices into their college career, but they were kind of highly rated guys coming out of high school, both from Virginia. What does getting guys like that into this program from basically in your backyard kind of mean as you continue to try to build this program and try to do it with some Virginia products like out of the 7x7 area?
Well, I think you obviously want to start at home, and those are 2 big-time players from this area, like you said, and I think that's huge for our program, for guys to choose to come here over, multiple other schools. And Coach Hundley did a great job recruiting those guys. The recruiting story on both those 2 guys, guys that we got on late in this process, and he was the reason we got both of them. He came in and sealed the deal. And the 2 things I tell you about, or the main thing about both those two young men is they're both competitors. I mean, they're not freshmen mentally in their mind, as far as how they see themselves. They don't lack in confidence, and that's great for that room because, we obviously have some really talented guys here too, with Bajor, with Jimmy, we've got a couple of the junior college guys that were here in the spring. And so, now you got six to seven guys that are all competing, and you can see the difference in that room in 2 days, the level of competition, because we have guys to push each other. So excited about those two guys. Like you said, it's early. We hadn't even put the pads on yet. So, then we'll kind of see at that point.
The defensive line depth was one that you were concerned of during the spring because of the lack of bodies. And a guy like Elijah Mitchell was still coming back from injury. You could feel you've rounded out that room fairly well now, and that can be a point of strength for this team.
Yes, I feel very strongly that will be a point of strength for this team. Coach Aldridge did a great job. We signed 3 junior college transfers, and we've got three freshman DNs, that we feel really, really good about. They can come in and contribute. And we've had guys that were here. I mean, Austin's added almost 20 pounds, from when we got here in the spring till now, And so when you talk about it, I mean, we could go on and on about the strength gains and the job that, our strength staff has done with these guys. But it's not a finished product by any means. We've got guys that need to continue to get into shape and those sort of things and learn the system. But once again, there's competition there. And so I feel like those guys are going to rise to the occasion and make each other better every single day.